Do you guys have an opinion, like, one word answer, what's the key to success in business?
Yeah.
One word?
Consistency. It's my word.
Sacrifice.
That's good.
Discipline. Willingness. You want me to keep going?
I was just going to let
You want me to keep going? Oh.
No, that's good. Tell me, where'd you guys grow up?
Washington, Utah.
Santa Clara, Utah. We both came up in like a troubled teen upbringing. Like, we had good parents and everything,
Yeah,
but we were little
wasn't
shits.
that- yeah.
We were little shits, dude. Like,
Yeah.
we were the little shits, like, vandalizing the neighbors'
Checking cars
properties
doors
or-
as you walk by to see
Yeah.
if it's unlocked so you can take the
Yeah.
change out of the little change holder.
Dude,
you know?
we've never like officially talked about it, but we have had a lot of talks. We're like, dude, it'd be cool to like open a counseling center for like troubled teens, or have some sort of like youth center that where you can go and impact kids and actually, you know, help bring them out of trouble and give them a foundation and believe in them to do something better with their lives, because we were those kids, man.
Yeah.
And statistically, like,
true.
we should be, you know, based on his past, going through his drug problems, me knocking up a girl in high school, which actually probably saved my life.
And he was in high school too, so it's not like you were 25 knocking up a high schooler.
Yeah, but I was a
He
high
was-
school dropout.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was a high school dropout. Did you graduate high school?
Not on time. I didn't walk with my class. I got my diploma 6
Yeah.
months after everybody else.
Tell me how you guys got into the entrepreneurship game.
Yeah, I was about 6 years old. I used to go and rob the convenience store down at the bottom of the hill, and I would sell
that
the
shit.
candy at school.
Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta
Hogs
do.
and slammers. Entrepreneurship game. I started out as a sales guy. I was just a construction worker, 18-year-old father, and I had a family to provide for. Luckily, I landed a sales job. I worked really hard at it, and I got good at it, and then, you know, just things kind of compounded into eventually starting side hustles, and then those turned into full-time businesses, right? And so I think that any really good business owner has to have a foundation of sales. And so that's why you see a lot of good sales guys go into owning their own business and becoming entrepreneurs.
How did I get in the entrepreneurship game?
Sales. You went from trying to
Basically,
build cabinets
I
and
did-
doing construction into
it was landscaping.
landscaping.
I was landscaping, and then I had a buddy in sales that said, I make, you know, $1,000 to $1,500 a week, and I said, that's bullshit. There's no way. I was making like $400 a week doing landscaping, and so I went into sales. But, you know, long story short, in sales I found drugs, became a drug addict, got clean, went back into sales to kind of rebuild my life. Entry level into sales, I met Kale, and then I exited sales. Obviously, had my own issues, life issues that I had to deal with, and then when I got clean, we ended up kind of meeting up back again, and I was actually working for Kel as a sales rep with one of his companies. I started kind of managing some of the employees and taking on some of the customer support phone calls, and slowly started, you know, taking on more of an operational manager type role without necessarily being asked to be the operations manager. And then, you know, it got to the point where the company was struggling a little bit, and then I invested some money to come in as a partner, and then ran the day-to-day operations on that side of things. While Kel was focusing on a different company that we also owned together. So we have a weird relationship where we can kind of divide and conquer, where I can focus on something while he's focusing on something, and both companies could ultimately flourish, and he can get a check from a company he's not having to focus on. I get a check from a company that I don't have to focus on. And now we're just kind of putting some pieces in place to have people operate our companies so that we can join forces and really grow easier accounting together.
Just real quick, what's easier accounting, what's going on there, and how does it apply to the real business owner situation?
Yeah, so easier accounting is, it's our baby. It's our long-term, you know, mission to help business owners. I mean, we're business owners. We know what kind of struggles business owners have constantly gone through, especially on the accounting side. Most entrepreneurs are very bad at being disciplined in actually managing and knowing their money and where it's at to be able to grow. And it's a huge problem. So we want to solve that problem. I came from a background of selling tax and accounting services for a number of years to owning and having a partnership in my own tax and accounting firm, to now starting Easier Accounting with Trevor. And it's basically, I've seen the problem from the entrepreneur side, and I've seen all the problems from the accounting side. So Easier Accounting is basically an accounting firm that is going to service entrepreneurs the way they need to be serviced, and we're going to help hold entrepreneurs accountable in their numbers and their accounting by giving them that data and reaching out to them and being proactive with them, unlike any other accounting firm. So we're kind of solving both problems that are in the industries.
The idea behind the Real Business Owners, Instagram, behind the podcast is, us as young entrepreneurs trying to build and grow something. There are a lot of struggles and a lot of dark times and lonely times and, times where you second guess yourself, wondering if you're going down the right path. And that account is specifically to discuss things that we do that work for us to help kind of streamline other entrepreneurs' success, so to speak, right? So that they don't have to feel like that they're alone. They don't have to feel like that some of the thoughts that they have are crazy because, again, second guessing yourself and why you're struggling, some of those things are completely normal. So the idea is to again, if it takes normally 3 to 5 years to be successful in business, if we can streamline that for a few people or motivate people to make some decisions that they wouldn't make otherwise, that's what that account is really about. Inspiring people, letting people know that you could come from not the best of backgrounds in terms of myself and Kale in regards to the way that we grew up, that you could still do big things provided you're willing to make the right sacrifices, you're disciplined enough, and you reinvest money back into your business over and over and over. The idea is to continue to give. It does feel good to give and make an impact, but the idea is to figure out what you can do to make an impact and make money at the same time, right? And if you can do both of those things, then I think at that point you've found kind of your highest self. If I give enough valuable information to people, I'm hoping that, at one point when their business is ready for, an accounting service or an accounting team or a bookkeeper, or if they need somebody to prepare their taxes, that we're ultimately one of the first thoughts that come up. And by default, by giving so much, maybe one day we'll earn that individual's business just by assisting with some of the videos and the podcasts and the information that we give.
Trevor, what's your thing with wolves?
Power animal.
Yeah.
Power animal, man.
Yeah, we had an employee that did power animal readings at one point. She had the cards or whatever, would flip them over and take you on like a little spiritual journey. And mine was a wolf. So
it started out as kind of a fun
it was just
thing.
a joke.
We ended up having this, spiritual reader person give everybody in the office what their power animal was.
So wait, no, okay. What was yours?
Mine was a panther. And Trevor's, I think, really resonated, though, because he really is a strong, leader of the pack. That's one of the strengths that Trevor brings to the table. And one of the reasons I was at one point dude, we need to bring Trevor in as a partner, not just to bring in money to save one of our companies, but we actually brought Trevor in as a partner on several companies and created more companies because he's a strong leader. That's one of his strengths that I saw a lot of value in and wanted to keep. Because I saw that Trevor was going to eventually do his own thing anyway, because I'd been in that same boat where I was a top sales guy at one of the companies I worked for before, and I was ready to go do my own thing. And I saw Trevor get to that point, and I was like, dude, let's keep him as an asset and bring him in as a partner, and let's create more stuff together. And so I think the wolf thing really resonated. Maybe she nailed it, dude. Maybe there's something.
She could have got one right.
Maybe
one of the spiritual readings.
She is a legit spiritual.
But
power animal reader.
So yeah, it did start as a joke. And so what happened is people started bringing me wolf stuff, right, as gifts. So a Christmas gift, this is a gift, that's a gift. I mean, a lot of this stuff has been gifted to me.
Who painted that for you?
My daughter. It all started as a joke, and then it just kind of compounded to the point where it was just I've
You flip
absorbed
it,
it.
you reverse it, you own it.
I owned it. Yeah,
He
and
owned
at
it.
that point, so
He is a
now
wolf.
I own it.